Hi again, Risa here, back with another episode of Ask Risa. This is my weekly video series where I answer questions about wedding planning. And if you have a question that you are struggling with that you would like me to answer, feel free to leave a comment below. I will definitely see it and I will reply to you. And I will also record a video for a future episode of Ask Risa. I am a wedding planner based in Sacramento, California. So if you're local to Sacramento, hit me up. And if you're looking for help with your wedding, I can help you out with that. So this week I am talking about your entertainment options, basically band versus DJ for your wedding reception. I will expose my bias at the outset. I am partial to DJs. I had a DJ for my own wedding and he was amazing. If you're in Los Angeles, look up who'sthatdj.com. Matt Gudis was my DJ and he's like the best DJ ever. Shout out to Matt. So that's my bias. I love DJs, but let me give you a few things to think about if you're evaluating whether you want to do a band or a DJ. The first thing to think about is noise, the actual volume level, because bands are very loud. They have a lot of instruments and the drums are very loud, so they mic the singer and they mic the guitarist, and it's just very loud. If you are having a wedding inside, a band could very well be too loud for your space. A couple years ago, a friend of mine got married and didn't ask for any help from me. So they had a band and they had a hotel wedding. And so dinner and the reception were in the hotel ballroom and they had this live band and it was unpleasant. It was unpleasantly loud. It was very painful. We couldn't talk during dinner. We were shouting at each other. Once dancing started, my friends and I, we just didn't want to be in that room with that band because it was actually hurting our ears. It was so painful. So we left. We went to another part of the hotel and we hung out and we caught up and, we could still hear the band even though we were like 3 rooms away. So that's a huge consideration. That's kind of my number one reason why I don't love bands, is because they're just so loud and not really appropriate for indoor circumstances. If you're getting married outside, though, they can be a much better option because they just have so much more space for the sound to disperse. But you do want to think about noise ordinances, which you have to think about regardless of whether you're having a band or a DJ. If you're getting married outside, you have to find out either from the venue or from your planner or by Googling it, what is the cutoff time for amplified sound? Most municipalities, it's done at the local level. So it's done municipality by municipality, and it's usually 10 or 11 p.m. if there is one. Some places don't have them. But that's definitely something that you need to think about when you're planning your wedding and thinking about what kind of entertainment you're going to have. Also, bands are a lot more expensive than DJs. Partially it's because you're paying for more people. There's a lot more people in a band than just a DJ showing up. Even if the DJ has an MC that he works with, maybe he does the MCing himself, maybe he has a partner. That's still only 2 people. And a band is usually 3 to 7 people, depending on how large of a band you're hiring. And you're paying for each one of those people. Those people are performing a service and you are paying for it. So bands are significantly more expensive than DJs. Another minor cost consideration is that you have to feed all of these people. So if you have a 7-piece band, you're paying for 7 vendor meals versus maybe 1 or 2 for a DJ. Again, the cost of the food, the vendor meal, is very minor, but the overall expense of the band is much greater than with the DJ. But maybe that's okay with you. Maybe you just really want a band, and that's fine. Just something to think about. Another thing to consider is what type of music you actually want played at your reception. If you are super into hip hop or rap, a band is probably not the way to go. You're probably gonna be better off with a DJ, unless you're actually hiring a hip hop artist to perform, which is kind of a different story than what I'm talking about with bands versus DJ. When I talk about bands, I'm mostly talking about like rock bands who play cover songs. But if you want more of a rap hip hop situation, you either need to hire an artist who specializes in that genre or hire a DJ. Those are gonna be your 2 best bets. If you really love the sort of orchestral big band sound from like the 1940s, then by all means, hire a big band, because there's no good way to replicate that sound on vinyl or CD or digital file or whatever. You want the actual real band performing that music. Same thing kind of goes with jazz. If you really love jazz, I would recommend going live for that rather than hiring a DJ. You're just going to get a better sound, and especially with sort of more experimental jazz where they're just riffing and playing and doing their thing, and it's not, you know, a prearranged song. You definitely want live for that. Like, there's no other way to get that other than live. But if you want to play like classic wedding songs, pop music, you know, anything that you normally hear when you go to a wedding, DJ, I say go for a DJ, because I mean, I personally, and maybe you feel the same way, I want to hear the song as it was performed by the original artist. Like, if I want to hear a Madonna song, I want to hear a Madonna song. I want to hear Madonna singing it. I don't want to hear a cover band playing Madonna. Like, I want the original article. And that's what you get with the DJ. You get the original thing. Something else to think about with bands is that they take breaks. Obviously, it's a lot of work to play an instrument and sing and whatnot. And so the band's not going to play all night straight through. They will take breaks depending on how long you have hired them. It could be 1, 2, 3 breaks, whatever. It could be a 10-minute break, 15-minute break, 20-minute break. One of those breaks will be when they eat dinner, but the other ones will just be, you know, rest periods for them so they can recuperate and get ready for their next set. And they will play pre-recorded music during those intervals when they are breaking. So just keep in mind that if you want live music, you will not have it the entire night. Some portion of the night will be pre-recorded music. And even if you do have a band, I definitely recommend having pre-recorded music during dinner, because having a band play during dinner is just, it's no good. Even if you're outside, it's just too loud. Like, people want to be able to talk during dinner. They want to have conversation with their dinner table companions. The band would drown them out. So I definitely recommend, at least if you're going with the band route, don't have them play live during dinner. Another good way to sort of compromise between DJ and live music is to do live music for the ceremony. Either a string quartet or a harpist or like a jazz trio or something like that. They generally have minimums of like 2 hours, so you have them do the ceremony. They play a little bit before the ceremony, the prelude is what we call that, and then they do the ceremony music, and then they play cocktail hour. And so you get your money's worth because you've gotten their 2 hour minimum in there, you've gotten live music, and it's lovely. And then once dinner starts, the DJ takes over, plays, you know, soft dinner music, and then after dinner, the party gets going, and you've got the DJ there, and he can ramp up the crowd and get everybody out on the dance floor and do their party thing. One other consideration is to make sure that you, when you're hiring a band, you want to see them perform, because you want to see what their stage presence is like. And maybe that's why you decided to hire a band, because you saw someone performed and you really loved them, which is great. But if you're just sort of shopping for bands, make sure you see them live, because you need to know what you're getting. And with a DJ, you definitely at least want to meet them in person, because the vibe between you and the DJ/MC is super important. The DJ is sort of the front-facing person for your wedding. They're going to do all of the announcements. They're going to be sort of talking to the guests and, you know, explaining toasts and emceeing the cake cutting and doing the grand entrance and all that. So you want to make sure that you like the personality of your DJ. And the only way to really tell that is to meet them in person. So highly, highly recommend meeting with your DJ in person before you hire them. And then the last piece of advice is just think about other weddings that you have been to. I'm sure you've been to weddings in the past. Did they have a band? Did they have a DJ? Did you like it? Did you like the style of music? Did it make you want to dance? You know, is your family a big family of dancers, or are they more like people who just kind of sit at their table? What music is going to get your people out on the dance floor? Because that's what you want. You want a party. That's how people want to remember your wedding. Like, your wedding will be memorable if it's fun, if people have a good time. So you want to make sure that whatever musical entertainment choice you make is going to vibe with your guests and vibe with you, and it's going to get everybody out there, and they're going to have a really good time, and everybody's going to walk away and be like, oh my God, that wedding was so fun. That was amazing. That's what you're going for. So whether it's a band or a DJ, you just have to think about it, put some thought into it, and go from there. So that's all for this week. There are other videos in the series. You can find them on a playlist on my YouTube page, which is just under Risa James Events. And if you have a question that you want answered, leave it in the comment. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, because that helps YouTube show it to other people who might be having the same conundrum that you are. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.